What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome to your daily fantasy habit, the daily fantasy quickie by the fantasy bench warmers. I'm your host, JJT, with Komish. Komish.
Yes, birthday boy, guys.
Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you for everyone who greeted. I saw the post and the comments. Thank you for everyone. I haven't commented yet because I took a social media break today.
Yes, it's the 50th birthday of our FBW JJT of our guy here. 50, 50, the big 50.
No, not yet. We're not yet there. We're just 41. 41 is not a bad age to be. So I'm not ashamed to admit my age. 41. And just
41.
stayed at home. Nothing really much. Like I was telling Komish, my daughter's birthday is on Sunday usually. That's when we celebrate both our birthdays. So today was just a regular day. Just stayed off of social media for a bit. Did less work, but still had to work. But and that's pretty much the day for me. And of course, we end it with our daily fantasy quickie, which is a good way to end as well, to talk about the NBA. Let's see what we have. We had 3 games today. Not really great games. There were great performances. We can talk about the feel-good players in a bit. But just quickly, injury updates. LeBron is closing in, really close to a return. Would he play the next game?
No, not the next game. The next game I think is Milwaukee. The game that was mentioned was Boston. Mm-hmm. I think that's on Saturday Manila time. I think Saturday Manila time. I guess that's a big game, so maybe that's the game they want him to return in. Hopefully Jaylen Brown also returns in that game. Jaylen is with the team in the road trip. Tomorrow he's not gonna play still, but it's reaching close to the 2-week mark of his 1 to 2 weeks prognosis, and they say it's close. So maybe both of them returns in that game. So that would be a big game to watch if that happens.
And hopefully it would be a good game. I mean, a close game.
Hopefully,
right?
I'll just talk about Taylor Horton-Tucker. I think being a 12-team guy, he's top 30 this year in 2 games. If LeBron comes back, I'll caution against dropping him, even if he plays badly in that LeBron game. The first game LeBron comes back, don't drop him yet, because I feel like, of course, it will be an adjustment period for him going down to the bench and playing with LeBron. Of course, it's a big thing, but overall this season, I think at least in 14 teams, he's worth holding on to. While Ariza and Nunn and everybody else are out, he should be worth holding on to.
And plus, we don't know how healthy LeBron is coming back, right?
That's true.
So he might miss a few games as well, or they might load manage him a bit, right? So we'll see what happens with Taylor Horton-Tucker, but hold on to him for a bit. Zion Williamson is cleared for one-on-one contact, right?
That didn't sound nice. But we're talking basketball here. We're talking basketball. Yeah. He's cleared for contact. He's been 1-on-0. Now it's 1-on-1. And November 24, there will be an MRI scan to see if, everything's clean and healing properly. If that is positive, that's okay. Good news. If it's healed properly, he will practice starting that week. So I guess it's going to the right direction for Zion. I don't know about Jeremy, but when I hear news like this, I want to trade him if I'm the owner. Because I don't know. Do you trust him?
No, I'm not touching on Zion this year until I really see him. I mean, I feel like my guess is that he'll probably be playing maybe late January, early February. If that's the timeline, he might hold it off until after the All-Star break. I mean, that's close, very close to the All-Star break, right?
But this news gives him a chance to come back December.
Yeah,
If everything works out well, I mean, I read the article of a New York Pelicans beat writer that he said December 17 or 20 something might. There's some games that they've penciled in. Might. That's the best case scenario. I do believe it's gonna be January, but I don't think it's February. That would be too far. If it's February, just basically skip the whole season because, I mean, there's no point in him returning at that point, right?
and that's not even out of the possibility, because
Do you think?
New Orleans is not playing well, and there have been reports that he's not happy with how New Orleans has been, and we've heard about this. I'm not saying he's not gonna play, but they're gonna. I just feel that they're really gonna be cautious with him. If meaningless games, they'll probably not play him as much. So there are a lot of concerns. I have a lot of concerns with having him. So yeah, I don't think I'd touch him or get him as a buy low player even.
I agree with that. I agree. Depends on the kind of buy low.
Well, the
But if
kind
you
of buy
offer,
low, but definitely I'm sure Zion owners will not sell him way too low, right? I mean,
I was offered a Zion actually.
for who?
For Draymond, and I passed. That's not buy low enough for me. If they offered me Zion for Evan Fournier or the Anthony Melton or maybe Nickeil Alexander Walker, maybe I'll think about it. Maybe you could, right? You could consider that, or maybe a Mason Plumlee. Those players, those are possible, right? I mean, those are really low.
Yeah, but those are way too low. I don't think Zion owners would want that. But more, I'm thinking a more feasible deal would probably be maybe a player you pick from the waiver, like a Cole Anthony, who's playing really well,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's a more realistic trade that probably won't get vetoed. I mean, Cole Anthony is hot. He's playing well. The timing of that would be okay. I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure if it's a league votes thing, that's gonna be vetoed because it's Zion. But still, the risks are way too high. I feel for Zion.
I would actually favor the Cole Anthony side there.
Yeah. I mean, the risk with Zion is way too high. I just feel it's way too high. We haven't even talked about his weight. I mean, the weight, the shape he is in. I mean, he's cleared for one-on-one drills, one-on-one contact drills, but is he, conditioned enough to play an actual NBA basketball game?
Not yet. That's why he when he's cleared, he has to.
Will he be ready for that?
I think he will. I mean, give him 1 month and a half. If he starts November 24, let's start November 24. At around January 5, that's 1 month and a half. I think being an NBA player, if he really is already healthy, he will get there. My concern with Zion is, of course, that length of time. If he's gonna come back January, that's already week 10, week 11, something, week 12. Maybe that's already too late. Remember, we're in fantasy. We're not in the regular season of the NBA. There's a difference there. And number two is the re-injury. I'm more worried. I think he will be in a little bit better shape when he comes back eventually. But the re-injury to a fractured foot of a big man, of a guy who's that explosive, that's the worry for me. That's why.
Best case, he comes back December. He'll probably play 15, 18 minutes 20? To start. I think 20 is a little too much at the start. Probably in the first couple of weeks. They'll probably play 15 to 18 minutes and then they'll wrap it up after a couple of weeks to around 20, 25, right? And then you'll see how that goes. And 15 to 18 minutes might be enough for him to be a relevant fantasy player.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like you said, the injury worry is still there, given the his weight, his explosiveness, and the nature of the injury, which is a foot injury, there is high risk of re-injury there. So yeah, if I'm not an owner of Zion, I won't try and buy a Zion stock unless it's really for a very, very low price.
Yep.
Klay Thompson, on the other hand, is a hotter commodity. Klay is, I think, very close to returning. Probably
He's
December, early December.
They said December 25. He already is practicing 5-on-5
Yeah.
with contact. So I guess they're just really being cautious with him. I feel like even not December 25, even December 1 or December 5, he can play, as in play, in an NBA game where he will score and play well.
Yeah.
But I guess since it's Klay and the Warriors want to win the championship more than anything, they'd rather take it really slow. So December 25 would probably be the more realistic time frame because of that. Zion or Klay?
Klay.
Tough.
I'd say Klay.
I'd say Klay also. But it's not a big difference as we might think. I know Klay will be healthier when he comes back compared to Zion, but I just feel that Klay will also have his own, rest issue, take it slowly issue, and then I do not think he will be the steals guy or anything guy when he comes back. He's gonna probably be more of a three-point shooter, scoring guy.
Yeah.
The stats just doesn't excite me compared to a Zion, I guess. So, but I'll choose Klay also. I agree.
I think the risks are lower with Klay. Plus the intensity that he plays in is different from how Zion is, because Zion is a player who should be explosive to be really good. Klay doesn't really need to be explosive. He just needs to stand out there and be ready. And he will probably be ready when his teammates pass him the ball. I mean, offensively. On the defensive end, of course, that's a different story. He might be less effective now, but yeah, I think he can still score 20, 22, 23 points a game. I mean, that's still feasible for him. 3-4 threes per game, that's easy for him. Given how Steph has been playing and how the Warriors have been playing.
I think also he's in good shape compared to Zion, for sure.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, right now he's already in good shape. So they just want him to be in perfect shape. They just want to be 100%.
He has something to prove, that he is part of that top 75 players list.
He's not, but yeah, sure. I mean, for me, he's not, but yeah, for his own, motivation, he can do whatever he wants to do. But I guess another thing I want to add here is, if you guys have Dame Lillard, we can segue to Dame Lillard right now. But if you have Dame, if you have, let's say, Embiid and all those players, maybe for me, and then you own Klay also, we're stashing Klay, maybe try to trade him to another player to get a safer player, because for sure Klay won't play every game. It looks like since Dame is now questionable for tomorrow again.
Yeah.
After playing the last game, missing the other game, and then now he's questionable. This might be a thing for Dame. He will not be shut down, but he might not play back-to-backs. Although tomorrow is not a back-to-back. But I mean, there would be, no back-to-backs, and then there are games he will take rest here or there.
Yeah.
So that would be annoying to Dame owners.
And the way I read it, if he misses tomorrow's game, the way I read it is they're gonna allow him to recover from the injury that he has, the abdominal injury. Allow him to recover, but at the same time, they won't let him miss that many games. I mean, they'll probably sit him for a few games here and there, but play him as well from time to time. I think Dame would also want to play because he's playing through it, and I think, but as a middle ground for both sides, taking care of Dame's health plus making sure that they still win, which they need Dame to win. He'll probably miss a few games here and there, and then maybe play some games as well. That's how I read it. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying.
I
in
agree.
fantasy
I
sense.
agree with you. I agree with you. That's how I see it. Also, they would choose the games he will miss, but in an 82 game season, I don't know. He could be a Mike Conley part two.
I
So right?
although unlike Mike Conley, I don't think this is gonna last. I think they'll do that until he feels pretty good about the injury. I mean, maybe it's 80-90% there already. He'll
We
start probably
hope
playing.
so. I hope
Uh,
so. I
yeah,
hope that it will improve. That without surgery, it can improve. That's my concern because I'm not a doctor. I don't know
yeah.
how these things work. You
But
might need surgery. So.
the important thing is we have to keep our fingers crossed that the Trailblazers would be there in playoff hunt until the end. Because
That's
if they're
another
not,
thing.
if they're
Yes.
not, they're gonna
And
rest him
and
early.
another thing, I
That's
just
our
talk.
guess. That's our guess. Just a disclaimer. It's a guess from our end.
Just my thought. He injured this in the Olympics, which was I don't know July, August. I think
Yeah.
August. If really if it needed surgery, I think he should have and would have gotten it that time. Probably the doctor said, you need rest or whatever. That's why he didn't have surgery. So I'm assuming that there's no tear, there's no anything. It's just rest. So hoping it's like that.
Yeah, and that's how they will rest him. Rest him a few games, let him play a few games, and if that won't really aggravate the injury, then it's fine to play him a few games. So I think that's how they're gonna play this one now.
Yep.
Some good news, Matisse Thybulle, if you're still holding on to him, or if you have, if there are leagues wherein he was dropped, he just finished his 10-day quarantine, I think,
Yes.
and he is very close to returning. Probably
We've
late
got
this
lots
week.
of questions about Matisse Thybulle.
What type of
Surprisingly.
questions? If he's an ad,
If he one question was in an 18 league, is he a must add? And I said, doing the math, 8 times 13 players, 100 players, 104. I don't think he's a must add in a 104 player size league.
uh-huh.
And then they're asking if we think that his steals and blocks rate can continue. I think the steals can, the block not. I don't think,
As much?
so. As much, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are others who have asked about trades with Matisse Thybulle. He's being traded a lot. And a lot of people are actually questioning whether he can continue what he's doing. The steals, the blocks, and anything. I think Jeremy knows this more because he's followed Matisse with how he plays.
The steals, I think, yes. The blocks, both, we have to understand both these stats are, how do you call this? Luck, are based on luck as well. The difference with Matisse is that that's the only thing he does, right? Steals and blocks, and he knows how to position himself. I mean, if you watch him play, he knows how to position himself. So if you are strong in other categories already, and you just want to boost your steals and blocks, he's probably the guy that you want to own. If you just want to add more steals and blocks to your team, and you are strong with the points, with the threes, or with the assists, you have other categories you are already strong at, he is the guy. But if you're gonna rely him solely on steals and blocks, probably not. Probably
Yes,
that's gonna be
right.
hard. He can't carry you because these stats are, luck, has luck factor in them.
But probability is he's gonna get them.
My
the
guess
higher
is,
probability.
yeah, I think he's probably easy. He can average 2 steals a game. I think that's easy. The blocks around 1.5. I think he can, for a guard. That's already a high number. I think that's
You think he can get to 1.5?
Yeah, I think he can. Definitely above 1. I think he can do that.
Yeah, I think so. Above 1, I think he can. But if
Above
he can get
1.
1.5, I'm very confident he can get 2 steals a game. I'm
Yeah.
very confident about that. So, yeah, I guess if he can get 2 steals and 1.5 blocks,
I think that's my
worth
my
something.
guess in terms of projecting his stats. I think he can.
Yeah.
Those stats are doable. Not too high, not too low either. So yeah, if you want
And aside
to,
from Thybulle, we have Chris Middleton coming back,
coming
and
back.
also Jakob Poeltl.
Yep.
coming back soon because he did not play today.
I think he is more of conditioning.
Yeah.
Portal is more of a conditioning thing. I'm not sure about Middleton.
Middleton is also conditioning. He's actually cleared already, but they're waiting for him. Laurie Markkanen is the same boat. They're also just waiting for the conditioning, but they'll be playing this week for sure. All these players.
Yeah,
and our bonus for Jeremy's birthday, Kevin Love. I really put it there for Jeremy. Tomorrow he's gonna play and he's gonna have a big game because no Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley's out 2 to 4 weeks, guys. That's another update.
That's another bummer.
Bummer. And no Allen, no Markkanen yet tomorrow.
No Allen tomorrow.
No Allen. He's still with an illness, whatever. I don't know what illness that is. So that means Kevin Love will start and will play a lot of minutes, I guess. Yeah, as long as he can take it.
Most likely, yes, Kevin Love would get. Hopefully, he gets a double-double. Yeah, they've been playing Taco Fall.
Taco Fall, yeah. Kevin Love and Taco Fall. Wow, what a combination. But anyway, okay. I mean, the two most opposite players you can think of as a center.
Yeah.
Kevin Love and Taco Fall.
So we'll see we'll see how that goes, that Cleveland situation goes with Kevin Love. Hopefully, try picking him up. I mean, if you have a streamer that you can drop,
I was going to stream him, but two of my opponents got there first. I looked at it 4:35 p.m. and I was doing this daily quickie thing. I forgot about it, and I haven't
checked. I haven't checked the Yahoo app. Maybe later tonight.
I doubt you have Kevin Love anymore. Our followers read our things.
Some worry players.
Yeah, worry.
Nick Batum did play well today. I feel he's still a hold in a 14 team. I have him in one of the leagues.
He played 14 minutes. He played 7 in the first half, 7 in the second half, and he was being looked at the trainer. I don't know if Yahoo has already updated the injury report, but I think there's soreness in his Achilles. So that is a concern. But he was able to play. I mean, in the second half he started. It's just maybe the game was already, they were winning. Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't force it. He's a hold for me. He's a hold for me.
Devin Vassell is a hold for me.
For me too.
He had a bad game today. I'm not sure why, because I didn't really watch it, I'm not sure why he didn't get as many minutes. Because they were against. I mean, that's confusing because they were against a smaller Clippers, right? They were against the Clippers today. And that should have been a good matchup for him to play, considering that they have Paul George there and he's probably considered one of their better defenders.
Greg Popovich has games like this. It's just weird sometimes. I don't get it either. But Derek White played well today.
Yep, that's one.
So maybe that. And of course, Keldon is going to get his minutes. The only guy I really can understand why they're playing is Doug McDermott. He's still playing 30 minutes a game. So
I think they need scoring. I think they need scoring.
Scoring, defending.
To spread the floor a little bit. They don't have anyone out there who can, shoot the ball.
But I think Vassell is Vassell is as good a scorer and shooter than McDermott, and he's a better player. So that I don't understand. But he's a hold. He's a hold.
He's a hold for sure. Devin Vassell. So if someone dropped him,
pick him up.
Pick him up. LaMarcus Aldridge came in late. Actually, I mean, he entered
second
the game
half
a little late. But hold.
Yes, if he was dropped, I would pick him up. I'd pick him up in 14-team leagues. I think it's a matchup thing. I mean, how's he gonna play against Golden State? I really don't know how he's gonna stay with the system of Golden State in the defense. So I think it's a matchup thing.
Yeah, and the reason I think he played the second half is because they were already down and they wanted maybe to change it up a little bit. Andre Drummond played 14? 15? How many minutes did he play today?
14, I think. 14 minutes. He was benched.
Minutes. Yeah.
He was benched.
And this was against Utah, right?
against Utah.
which has
12 minutes. He played 12 minutes.
which had Gobert. It would have seemed like it was a good matchup for him. Yeah, but again, he is a hold. You probably won't drop him.
Fantasy-wise, in 12 minutes, he was 6.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. So you
still,
can say
that's good.
I mean, that's good. But you can say why was he benched if he did this if he played so well? He was in the numbers, and the real game doesn't match. He was awful. He was awful in the game. He made a lot of mistakes. He had 2 turnovers, and then Gobert actually really just ate him alive. So I guess Doc Rivers had enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, those are worry players. Are some of our buy players. Shake Milton could be an ad, although the window is closing a bit because the 76ers are slowly getting their other players back.
Although Danny Green went out with an injury, so he didn't play today. Milton started today for Danny Green.
Yeah.
So that is
Philadelphia had a very interesting starting 5. They had Milton, Maxey, and Seth Curry starting.
Yeah.
So that's a really small lineup there.
And that's the reason why they were destroyed today.
Yeah.
they lost.
Bruce Brown is another player, another utility guy that you might want to consider.
I guess he's more of a streamer.
Yeah.
For me,
if you need any stats like rebounds, steals, maybe he can do that a bit. Scoring,
especially in low volume days like today, and they have a game. He's probably one of the best one you can gamble on. In streaming. I mean, he can have games where he can give you a lot of these stats all over the board. Yeah. So there.
And Patty Mills, because Joe Harris is out. Patty Mills could be the third option in scoring. I mean, if you watch the Nets, it's really Durant and Harden, and after that, there's really no one. No one can shoot, no one can score. Only Patty Mills, and that can free up. That's why I'm very surprised Joe Harris hasn't been playing well. Because with Durant and Harden, they should be quite open out there.
That's true, but Joe Harris is starting with Bruce Brown and Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
So I think what the opposing coaches have done is just stay on Joe Harris, his man, stay on him, and then leave the 2 other guys. So he's been okay relatively. I mean, for a shooter, 11 points, 3 3-pointers this year. He's okay. He's been doing his job. It's just that in fantasy, no steals, no assists, and very low points, 11 points. Doesn't quite, give you anything. Patty Mills, though, he started today for him. So he could be better. He's more of a scorer who's not a spot-up scorer. He can, move and do other things.
And then, of course, some lower-end watch list players. Jonathan Kuminga, we mentioned him a couple of quickies ago. Kuminga has been getting some playing time. Actually, the Warriors' depth chart has been really deep. I mean, they've been going deep, maybe because of the scores and all, but they've been playing a lot of guys as well.
The routes, blowouts.
They've been routes. Brandon Boston Jr.
Someone to monitor.
Another monitor guy. Just keep an eye on him in case he gets more time. And our feel good. Let's talk about Dejounte Murray as our feel good, because we talked about Steph Curry a lot. We talked about Paul George a lot. We talk about Maxey from time to time, but Dejounte Murray, there have been some followers asking where's the shout out for Dejounte. Dejounte's been playing really well. I mean, we kind of expected this. I mean, not just us, but I think lots of managers have expected this after, the Spurs pretty much went into a rebuild mode.
Yes.
Not signing DeRozan, letting go of LaMarcus. I think it's Dejounte's team now.
Dejounte is gonna be following the lines of Middleton, DeRozan, and the other boring players who are really
But
not
this guy is not boring.
popular. He's
No,
not
I think he's popular. I think he's quite popular, but he is not. I'd say not picked on a higher level. Like
he
they see him as someone who is not a tier 1 or a second round or a third round player.
Yeah, for sure. And he's not someone you go out. I mean, this year he's been playing well, but usually he's not someone you think of as. I'd like to own Dejounte Murray. I like Dejounte because people are thinking Dejounte Murray. He's good, but he can't shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
He's good, but he can't shoot. So that's what they think of him, right? So this year, actually, the shooting has improved, but the free throws are not that good yet. It's 68%.
Yeah.
But even with that, he's a top 15 player. Top 15. So he's
the thing as well is that I don't think he's shooting that many free throws.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Two free throws, I think.
Yeah, and he's been shooting threes.
More,
he didn't because he used to not shoot as many threes before. So yeah, I like Dejounte. I have a few Dejountes out there.
I like Dejounte also. I usually own Dejounte every year. This year is the only year I did not pick Dejounte because last year I owned Dejounte. I was trying to trade him. I could not find a trade partner. Everybody said they don't like him. So this year I said I don't like to pick him because I can't trade him. Then he does this. But he's good. He's good. Just Jeremy said he has taken now 4 3-pointers a game attempts. And since he shoots 30-something%, he can go to 1.4, 1.5.
Yeah.
Not bad. I mean, that's
my question to you now. Would you rather have Dejounte or Jrue at this point?
I'd rather have Dejounte. Murray.
Because Jrue is one player who is usually more liked in the higher level of the players, in the third round level of players, right? He is a little above Dejounte. Of course, he hasn't played much, Jrue, but
yes,
I think the ceiling for Dejounte is higher, I guess, than Jrue.
Yes. If you look at the stats career-wise of Jrue, probably his best season was with New Orleans. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.8 threes, 1.6 steals. Dejounte is basically averaging more rebounds, more assists, more steals already at this point. So that was the peak of Jrue Holiday. I don't think this is the peak right now of Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is a little older already. So right now, it's Dejounte. Without question, Dejounte Murray over Jrue Holiday.
You know, this is the potential that everyone saw in Dejounte after he got that injury, right? He missed a season, and then when he came back, he was kind of the forgotten guy. And the first year he came back, he wasn't as good. Last year he was better. This year has been really good.
I guess you can also look at the one I said about situation, Paul George and him. The best player Paul George is playing with fantasy-wise is probably Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson. Well, Dejounte, the best player would be probably Potel and Derek White. Potel is probably top 75, top 70. Derek White is probably just around 90 to 100 at this point. So there's nobody to
and there's no consistent
anything.
There's no consistent guy. I think
yes
he is the most consistent there. Dejounte is the next to him would probably Pirtle, who is out right now. Derek White hasn't been very consistent. He's been up and down really throughout the season, and I think that's the story of Derek White's fantasy season. It's always been up and down, and then towards the end, you lose him to injury.
That's the
narrative of Derek White every year.
And that's one reason I made a mistake about Dejounte this year. I was projecting San Antonio. I was thinking Derek White will have a bounce back year. And then he and Dejounte would probably be close to each other ranks wise because they were picked close in the draft. Right? They were picked close in the draft. Dejounte was 50s. Dejounte was 50s.
But I think towards as the season got closer, Dejounte moved up a little higher.
A little, but they were probably just one round difference.
Yeah, probably a round or two, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I thought maybe Dejounte won't have his breakout season because I think Derek White is going to have a bounce back season. That's what I was thinking, and I was way wrong, way wrong about Derek White.
Yeah. There. So it's always been like that with Derek White, but Dejounte has been playing really well, and it's hard to get him now. Second, it's hard to. It's easy to sell him, but I don't think you will do that. He's a complete package right now. If he can shoot that 1.5 threes a game, that's solid for you. He doesn't kill you in the field goal because he doesn't shoot. He doesn't force too much shots. So the free throws is not a killer because he doesn't attempt much, and the steals are quite good for a point guard. So overall, Dejounte has been a stud so far this year. That's it for our quickie for today. And tomorrow is midweek already of week 5. And we'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye, guys.
Bye.